Hey guys, it's Full Cards here live direct from Brooklyn, New York. And in front of me today I have a box of Tylenol Cold Max because I have been maxed out with a terrible cold. Impossible to think clearly, squarely with any insight. Nonetheless, I feel a bit better today, so what I thought I'd do is I would pop open a box of this stuff. 2016, Mitch Marner on the cover, Canada Juniors from Upper Deck, microphone check, microphone check. The benefit of this product would be the 2016 women's team. I'm a big proponent of supporting women's hockey. There aren't many products with women within them. And the women just came off a really great all-star break where they sort of infiltrated the men's game a bit, somewhat semi-apologetically, but mostly triumphantly. Because, you know, it is about the men and their sport and so on, but it also is about promoting the game of hockey. So I just wanted to quickly talk about that. Rebecca Johnston was there, Renata Fast was there, Kendall Schofield was there, Brianna Decker was there, and they all did really well in the skills competition. The most amazing thing was, to me, well, firstly, Coyne outskated Clayton Keller, so that's one thing that occurred, because she's got wheels, unbelievable wheels. And also, Brianna Decker absolutely schooled the hardest weird passing station, which Eric Carlson, not my favorite player in the world, had so much difficulty with that he was basically shaking his head. Of course, it's about practice, it's about technicals. In the men's game, you don't want to compare the women to the men and so on. It's about promoting women's sport, and these sports are very highly technical, and I couldn't have been more pleased and proud of it. So I just wanted to say that, because there's a lot of girls who watch, little girls watching alongside their dads and their moms and their brothers watching Hockey Night in Canada, etc. And I think it's good for them to see themselves in the athletes. So I thought I'd just leave that there. I mean, I've seen some of the women trolled on social media as they are in gaming, and I find it nearsighted, short-sighted, myopic, disappointing. As they represent 50% of our communities and 50% of our lives, and their game is good, and their skills apparently are right there with the men when you think about the speed of Kendall Coyne being 1 second less than McDavid himself. So that's all I want to say on that. So with regard to this box, who would we find within here? Obviously, Mitch Marner would be the catch, as well as Brayden Point, Dylan Strome, Gretzky, Moose's, Super Marios are within here. Within the women, of course, we have Marie-Philippe Poulin, we have Rebecca Johnston, we have Brianne Jenner from the Calgary Inferno, Natalie Spooner from Toronto, from the Furies, as well as Jillian Saunier and people of that nature. What do we need to know about this box? There's so much going on within this product. It's actually very difficult to explain and keep track of. But the base sets runs 1 through 150, and then 101 through 162 would be the jerseys. So we would have 5 cards per pack, 16 packs per box, which would be 80 cards total. Men's jerseys inserted 1 to 16, so that would be 1 per box, while the women's are actually rare at 1 in 32, so they'd be half per box. 4 autos or memorabilia cards total we'd expect gold parallels 1 and 3. There are these retro cards from the early 90s falling 1 and 2 boxes. Program of Excellences are 1 and 4 packs, so 4 per box. They actually have rainbow parallels as well. There are exclusive parallels such as high gloss and printing plates and so on. There are the exclusive parallels, which are those red parallels, and those are numbered. And then you have dual, quad, jumbo, jersey, ad nauseum, all kinds of stuff. Black autos, numbered to 5, all kinds of things to be mindful of, cognizant of, aware of, and we should get a bunch of good things within here. So let's pop it open. I'm not clear-headed today, so I apologize in advance for being a little bit lackluster and maybe a little bit less insightful than usual, but nonetheless, I thought I would go for it. So let's see what we have here. We do have a seal to seal the deal. There would be the seal, and there's Mitch in pure celebration mode. Celebration we've come to see quite a bit this year, and I think he's a Hart contender. Obviously his dad does too, but I absolutely love Mitch Marner. In fact, I have Mitch Marner in my pool. It tells you as a Habs fan how much I like him if a Habs fan can have a Mitch Marner in their pool. Here are the packs. The packs are really thick, and I think it's because there are decoys within here. So we will also be aware of it being decoy friendly, decoy forward. And our first card here is a Mason McDonald, who is a 6'4" goaltender Mason McDonald. He was drafted by Calgary in 2014. And this is what the base looks like. Really nice cards. These are always very nice. They have their little sort of silver jersey type foil. Oh my, we have a jersey right off the bat here. So let's see who it is. We have a Lawson Krause base card. So we have three cards in our first pack, because one of which is a decoy. We do have a jersey which runs above 101 on the checklist, and it would be Joe Hicketts. Joe Hicketts would be our first. He's a D actually, and it's just a plain silver jersey, card number 108 on our checklist. Joe Hicketts, who was, I believe he was drafted by Detroit, unless I'm mistaken. A pretty diminutive defenseman. I think he's like 5'8". Continuing on here. Hicketts is out of, I think he's out of Kamloops, BC, something to that effect. Here is Brett Howden, a plain base card, an Owen Tippett, a Roland McCown, another massive decoy, and then an Anthony Beauvillier. Kind of nice to see the Anthony Beauvillier. He was a 28th overall by our Islanders here in New York. And then we have Matthew Barzell base. Matthew Barzell has been lighting it up for the Islanders. In fact, he lit it up in the All-Star game, playing on a line with Sid the Kid. And there's Braden Point, who's one of my favorite players. Braden Point, little known fact, was a third rounder. I've had him in my hockey pool for the last many years. There's Mason Shaw. There's Laura Fortino. Oh wait, we have a patch behind here. You know what? I'm going to put this aside. Yeah. Okay. So Laura Fortino's out of Brampton, I believe, or played with the. And she also played with Cornell. I think she played with the Big Red. Continuing on, we have a Tanner Kaspick, Dante Fabro, a Beck Holliston. We have a massive hit here. So let's see who it is. We have Lawson Krause, Travis Sanheim, and we have a Julien Gauthier. Wow, look at this thing. So this would be one of those Spectrum cards, I believe. It's a real thick hit. It's numbered to 199. So this is like a major hit within the box. Julien Gauthier, I'm not sure what he's done yet. Of course, he's not Freddie Gauthier. He's the other Gauthier. He played with Val d'Or, and he was drafted 21st overall by Carolina in 2016. I'm not sure what he's done thus far, but that's a really, really nice one. Okay, put that aside as well. Continuing on, really big hits within this box. Tyler Benson, we have a decoy here, and I believe we have a program of excellence, so we'll see who that is, who that happens to be. Oh, cool, we have a Marty St. Louis gold parallel. Marty St. Louis, who is now a Hall of Famer, and we have a base gold parallel. Travis Konechny, who's been lighting it up with Philadelphia, put up 24 goals last year. Brandon Perlini, blank, and we do have a Jordan Kyrou program of excellence. Not bad, actually. Jordan Kyrou has, I think he's on St. Louis, is he not? I think he's looked actually pretty decent thus far. Nice. He definitely did really well with the juniors, so that's nice to see. Hayden Fleury, who's a D. Another massive decoy, and then we have something here. We have an Evan Fitzpatrick, goaltender, and then we have a local. We have a Travis Konechny, and it's one of those local legends. Not bad at all. Konechny, of course, was drafted by Philadelphia. I think he was 24th overall. He's looked really good in his couple of years with Philadelphia, so it's nice to see him. Certainly. So you see how many patches and so on you get. We get all kinds of good stuff within this box. There's Samuel Montembeault. I believe he's 6'3". He was drafted by Florida in the 3rd round, 77th overall. William Bitton. We have another gold card, so we'll see who that is. We have Jake Bean, Marcus Phillips, and we have a Marty Brodeur, gold, parallel. Marty Brodeur, first in wins in the history of our game. Gold one to Marty Brodeur, that's nice. So we've gotten 2 legend golds. Continuing on here, we have ourselves an Emily Clark who played with the Wisconsin Badgers. Tyson Jost. I believe we have an exclusives card, so we'll see who our exclusives is. Megan Mickelson. Megan Mickelson, unless I'm mistaken, I think her dad played with the Kings and the Isles and the Caps. And then we have a Nicholas Hague exclusives. Nicholas Hayes exclusives. Okay, so that would be our first one of those exclusives. Still loads of cards within here, loads of packs. Still feeling ill. There's Haley Wickenheiser. Amazing thing about Haley Wickenheiser, she also played Olympic softball, and she has 18 medals, 60% of which are golds from her international play. Of course, right now she is now the assistant director of player development for the Maple Leafs. So nice to see her. We have Mashmeyer, and I think she came out of Harvard, unless I'm mistaken, believe it or not. There's a Jordan Kyrou, and we have another one of these golds, and it's Pierre-Luc Dubois. Pierre-Luc Dubois, awesome. I've had him in my pool as well. Who's drafted 3rd overall was Pierre-Luc Dubois. Of course, now he plays with the Columbus Blue Jackets. Charlene Labonte, Samuel Girard. We have another exclusive, so we'll see who that is. We have Brandon Hickey, Tyson Jost, and our exclusives is Joe Hicketts. Okay, so 2 middling, I'd say, exclusives, more or less, the Joe Hicketts. Okay. 2 exclusives, so that would be our 2. I don't think we've gotten a printing plate or anything of that nature. So we have a Tara Watchhorn. I believe she was out of Newcastle, unless I'm mistaken. She wasn't born in Newcastle, though. She was born in Ajax, I believe. Oh, we have a Dante Fabro. So we have a Dante Fabro jersey. So this is just a silver jersey of Dante Fabro. Loads of, and there's Natalie Spooner. I believe Natalie Spooner is always usually right up there in the scoring race in the WHL. Unless I'm mistaken, she plays for the Toronto Furies. There's Mario, so we have a Mario sighting. We have a Jamie Lee Rattray, who is a Clarkson Cup champion, which the Clarkson Cup, if you don't know, is the Stanley Cup for the women, and I believe they won this year with Markham. And then we have a Program of Excellence of Marty Brodeur. So we have 2 really nice ones of Marty Brodeur. That's awesome. And then another Julian Gauthier and a Brianne Jenner. Brianne Jenner is another one who's usually right up there in the scoring race. Top 10 scorer in the WHL, WCWHL. There's Sam Steele, Boris Kachuk, another blank, and we have a Program of Excellence of Brandon Perlini, who I believe is now with Chicago, but I think he was drafted by Arizona 12th overall. And there's a Moose sighting. We have a Mark Messier. We have a Megan Augusta. This woman puts up points. I think she has 53 points in 45 international games. She is a little bit of a machine, if you will. Only have 3 packs left. I believe I put 1 pack aside, so we'll see what that entails. We've already gotten our gold spectrum, unfortunately. Oh, look at this. We have Carter Hart. Carter Hart, who has been lighting it up. I think he's won 5 out of 6 his last 6 games, something to that effect, with Philadelphia. He's looked really good with a save percentage around .925. or maybe 920, something of that nature this year. He's definitely looked really sharp. There's Mitchell Stevens. We have another gold here, so we'll see who that is. We have a Lauriane Rougeau. Lauriane Rougeau, she's out of Pointe Claire, Quebec, out of Montreal. We have Bridget Lequette, whose stick, I believe, is in, unless I'm mistaken, her stick is in the Hall of Fame in the diversity exhibit. And here we have a Jacob Chikrin gold. And I think he was drafted by Arizona. 16th overall was Chikrin. Not as difficult to say as Heedle, but anyways. There's Travis Dermott, who sometimes looks a little bit uncertain. He was drafted in the second round by Toronto. He's out of Newmarket, Ontario, and he's a bona fide Leaf right now, so that's a good sign. Mackenzie Blackwood, who is on New Jersey and has looked really well too in the games that he's played. So it's nice to see him get some games up in the show this year. Michael McLeod, Noah McGregor. We have another gold, and our other gold would be Joe Hicketts. So we have another one of these. So we have the gold of Joe Hicketts, who is a diminutive D. Played with Victoria in the WHL, born in Kamloops, I believe. Detroit property. Dylan Dubé, Dylan Strome, Nolan Patrick, so we have a Nolan Patrick, and then a Dougie Gilmore. That's pretty cool. So these, I believe, are just normal base, these legends, believe it or not. And we do have an Anthony Beauvillier with our Islanders. So that's basically it, but I did put one pack aside, so we'll see who's in here. So here we actually have a Haley, I think her uncle was an NHLer, Rick Blight, who was with Vancouver. So she actually has some lineage within the NHL. Zach Poirier, Laura Fortino, and we do have a patch card here, so we'll see who this patch card is. We have a logo patch. Oh, look at that. Okay. And our logo patch would happen to be Travis Dermott. So we actually have, so these are manufactured logo patches, but we actually hit the Travis Dermott. That's really nice. Pretty cool. Really cool. And of course, again, he's on a now souped up D now that the Leafs have acquired Jake Muzzin, who I really like. Jake Muzzin blocks a lot of shots. He's a really capable, able, steady defenseman. I've had him in my pool as well, and he's done very well. So that's basically it, guys. I think I'll do a quick recap of this box of 2016 Canada Juniors, including the women. Okay, guys, time for the recap. So, for $49.99, this is actually a really bad break in terms of hits. It's actually one of the worst breaks I've ever had with a Canada Juniors box, but it happens on occasion. With regard to base, we did receive 60 of the 100 base, including Charlene Labonte and Megan Augusta, who both have 3 gold medals, Olympic gold medals, that is. Bridget Lequette, whose stick is in the Hall of Fame. Carter Hart, who's blowing it up right now. So we certainly received our typical base, really nice cards, very clean white cards. What else did we receive? We definitely received the Program of Excellence cards, including our man here, Anthony Beauvillier, who of course is a property of the New York Islanders, drafted 28th overall, as well as Brandon Perlini. Marty Brodeur, received a Marty Brodeur card, and these are all base, and Jordan Kyrou, so who's drafted by St. Louis, I believe. These are all the base Program of Excellence rainbow cards. There are rare gold cards you can receive as well, believe it or not. What else did we receive? We did receive the typical gold parallels. So we did hit the Joe Hicketts, who's a sort of diminutive defenseman drafted by Detroit. I'm not sure if he's done much. Jacob Chikrin as well, drafted by Arizona, I believe, who was drafted 16th overall. Pierre-Luc Dubois, of course, also drafted in 2016, I believe, who was 3rd overall, and lighting it up in my hockey pool, Marty Brodeur, Martin Saint-Louis. So those would all be the golds. Received 5 of those golds. We were guaranteed, I believe, 5, and we received 5. Also received 2 of these exclusives, again, lower end exclusives, Joe Hicketts and Nicholas Hague. So we did receive 2 of these. They are numbered to 175. What else did we receive? We did receive this Travis Konechny. So this is pretty good. He has been lighting it up, done really, really well for Philadelphia in his first couple of years with them. I know he did put up 24 goals last year, so that's something to be aware of. What else did we receive? We did receive a couple of these base jerseys. We received the Dante Fabro, as well as the Joe Hicketts. So this is a very Joe Hicketts friendly box, believe it or not, good and bad. And we did receive our Gold Spectrum card, number to 199, and this one would be Julien Gauthier, who was drafted in the first round, I believe, but by Carolina. I don't think he's playing for them, unfortunately. I think he's wherever he's in Charlotte or something. He basically was drafted 21st overall, but it's a nice patch. These are really great cards. Unfortunately, I did not hit one of these sort of bona fide NHLers, which happens on occasion. What else did I receive? This thing was really cool. I received one of the manufactured patches. This is one of the base patches, but they're really cool. It's always nice to hit these, and I hit the Travis Dermott, so this is probably the hit of the box, I'd almost say, given the fact that it was a lackluster box. But if you can get this box for $50, I absolutely recommend it for the diversity of the products. You can actually give it to your daughter or your son. It promotes female hockey, women's hockey, a big proponent of women's hockey. And it's nice to see diversity within the sports and inclusiveness. So that's basically it, guys. A little bit of a lackluster box, I have to say, on the hits front. It happens on occasion, but it just shows you what your pack odds are. I think if you buy a box of this, you'll do much better than me. I'm going to be Fulton Cars live in a reference place called Brooklyn, New York. Please provide a like, even if the box was lackluster. Please provide comments as well. And yeah, and please subscribe if you haven't already. I'm Fulton Cars live and direct from Brooklyn, New York.